The rain pelted against the windows of Hygiene Park's small apartment, creating a rhythmic drumming that usually helped her concentrate on her research. At 32, she was a dedicated scientist working on advanced propulsion systems, spending most nights surrounded by technical diagrams and complex mathematical equations. Everything changed when the first explosion rocked her quiet Incheon neighborhood. A brilliant flash of blue-white light erupted just outside her window, followed by a thunderous crash that shook the entire building. Hygiene instinctively ducked, her heart racing as she moved cautiously toward the balcony. The strange object looked nothing like any spacecraft she had ever studied. It was organic and mechanical at the same time, a twisted mass of silvery metal and what seemed like living tissue, smoking and sparking from multiple damage points. As she watched, a section of the strange craft split open, and a figure tumbled out. The alien was clearly wounded. Her skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, changing colors like a living camouflage system. Deep burns marked her body, and her breathing was labored and uneven. She wore a complex suit that looked more like a second skin than traditional clothing, with intricate technological patterns that seemed to pulse with a soft inner light. Hygiene knew she should call the authorities. She knew she should stay away. But something in the alien's eyes, a mixture of desperation and intelligence, stopped her. Those eyes were not just the eyes of a wounded creature, but of someone who had seen incredible things, who carried knowledge beyond human comprehension. The alien's hand moved, revealing a small device that projected a holographic message. Though Hygiene couldn't understand the language, the urgency was clear. Symbols and images flickered, scenes of destruction, massive mechanical beings destroying entire civilizations, a relentless pursuit that seemed to span entire star systems. "Help," the alien whispered in broken Korean, her voice a mixture of technological translation and raw emotion. "They are coming." Hygiene realized she was now making a decision that could change everything. Her scientific training battled with her humanitarian instincts. This was not just a wounded creature, but potentially a survivor of an interstellar conflict that humanity knew nothing about. She carefully approached the alien, noticing how the technological suit was already attempting to heal the wounds. Small nanobots seemed to flow across the skin, rebuilding damaged tissues and sealing severe burns. The alien watched Hygiene's movements, a mix of caution and hope in her extraordinary eyes. "My name is Alia," the alien said, her voice becoming clearer. "I carry information that could save not just my people, but yours as well." Outside, distant sounds suggested something was searching. Heavy mechanical movements, the kind of sounds one might hear from massive robotic systems scanning an area. The hunter was close, and it was looking for Alia. Hygiene made her choice. She pulled the alien inside, closing the balcony door and activating a complex security system she had developed for her research, a system that could mask electronic signatures and create localized interference fields. As she helped Alia onto her research couch, covering her with a thermal blanket, the alien's hand touched hers. A spark of connection passed between them, not just physical, but something deeper. A shared understanding that this moment was the beginning of something much larger than either of them could comprehend. The mechanical sounds outside grew louder, then slowly faded. Whatever was searching seemed to have moved on, at least for now. Hygiene looked at Alia, who had fallen into a strange form of unconsciousness, her skin now a soft blue that seemed to match the room's ambient temperature. One thing was certain, nothing would be the same after tonight. The morning light filtered through Hygiene's apartment, revealing Alia still resting on the research couch. Her breathing had stabilized, but her skin continued to shift colors, a testament to the complex biological mechanisms keeping her alive. Jae-sung Kim arrived precisely at 8 a.m., as he always did. A brilliant researcher and Hygiene's closest colleague, he carried his usual morning coffee and a stack of technical journals. His routine stopped dead when he saw the alien in the living room. "What have you done?" he whispered, setting down his coffee cup. Hygiene quickly explained the previous night's events. She connected a small data device Alia had been carrying to her computer. Holographic images burst to life, massive mechanical beings destroying entire planetary systems, organic civilizations reduced to scattered remnants. Alia stirred, her eyes opening with a sudden intensity. "The quantum dominion hunts us," she said clearly. "They believe organic life is inefficient. We are a problem to be solved, not a civilization to be understood." Jason's scientific curiosity overcame his initial shock. He began asking technical questions, his hands moving rapidly to analyze the holographic data. The images showed incredible technological warfare, entire star systems transformed into battlegrounds where mechanical entities systematically eliminated organic populations. "How long has this conflict been happening?" Hygiene asked. Alia's response was chilling. "Hundreds of your Earth years. We are the last resistance." The stellar collective has been reduced to fewer than 10,000 individuals, scattered across different hidden star systems. The holographic data revealed something more terrifying. The quantum dominion wasn't just destroying civilizations, they were analyzing and converting organic technologies, learning and adapting with each conquered world. Jae-sung connected some additional monitoring equipment. "We need to understand their technological signature," he muttered. "If they're tracking you, we need to create a complete interference pattern." Alia explained that her spacecraft carried critical encryption codes, information about the quantum dominion's invasion strategies. These codes could potentially help other civilizations develop defensive technologies. "They will not stop," Alia said quietly. "Earth is next on their expansion map. Your planet's technological development makes you a potential threat. They will eliminate you before you can become a true challenge." Hygiene and Jae-sung exchanged looks. This was no longer just a scientific discovery. This was a potential warning about humanity's survival. The apartment's advanced security systems suddenly flickered. Something was scanning the building's external perimeter. Mechanical signals pulsed briefly, detection algorithms searching for any trace of Alia's technological signature. "They're close," Alia whispered. Her technological suit began reconfiguring, creating additional camouflage and interference patterns. Jae-sung quickly began transferring the holographic data to multiple secure servers. "We need backup," he said. "Military research centers. Intelligence agencies. Someone who can understand this information." Hygiene realized they were now part of something much larger than their small research world. A potential interstellar conflict was about to reach Earth's doorstep, and they were the first line of defense. Alia looked at them, her eyes reflecting both hope and tremendous burden. "Will you help us?" she asked simply. The mechanical scanning outside continued. Something was searching. Something was getting closer. And humanity's first true test against an advanced extraterrestrial threat was about to begin. The apartment transformed into a high-tech command center within hours. Jae-sung brought specialized equipment from his research laboratory, signal scramblers, electromagnetic interference generators, and advanced tracking devices that could detect microscopic technological signatures. Alia explained the quantum dominion's tracking methods. They used quantum entanglement technology that could detect organic signatures across vast distances. Her suit was now actively creating multiple false signals, making their location difficult to pinpoint. Hygiene worked on creating a unique defensive system. Using Alia's technology and her own research on propulsion systems, she began designing electromagnetic shields that could disrupt mechanical scanning frequencies. Her computer screens filled with complex algorithms and technological schematics. "They will not find us easily," Alia said, her fingers moving across a holographic interface that projected multiple potential invasion scenarios. Each scenario showed different attack strategies, some involving direct assault, others using sophisticated infiltration techniques. Jae-sung contacted his most trusted colleagues in the research community. Most thought he was crazy, but a few specialized scientists in advanced defense technologies began taking the information seriously. They started creating a hidden network of information exchange. Outside, the city continued its normal routine. People walked streets, drove cars, went to work, completely unaware that a potential alien invasion was being planned and potentially prevented in a small apartment in Incheon. Alia's suit continued healing, revealing more complex biological mechanisms. Her body could adapt to different environmental conditions, change skin pigmentation for camouflage, and regenerate damaged tissues at an incredible speed. She was a living weapon designed for survival. "The quantum dominion believes in complete elimination," she explained. "They do not negotiate. They do not understand concepts like mercy or individual survival. To them, organic life is a mathematical problem to be solved through total destruction. Hygiene's computer began running complex simulation models. What would happen if the quantum dominion discovered Earth? Their technological capabilities suggested they could destroy entire planetary systems within weeks. Jae-sung prepared emergency communication protocols. He created encrypted channels that could transmit information quickly to select military and scientific research centers. If the invasion began, they needed a rapid response system. The apartment walls were reinforced with special materials that could block advanced scanning technologies. Alia's suit contributed additional camouflage technologies, creating multiple false signatures that would confuse any mechanical detection systems. "We have perhaps 3 days," Alia said, pointing to a holographic timeline. After that, the probability of detection increases exponentially. They worked without sleep. Coffee cups accumulated, technical diagrams covered every available surface. Hygiene's research notes mixed with alien technological schematics, creating a complex web of potential defensive strategies. Jae-sung's military contacts began showing interest. Small units of specialized technology experts were brought into the secret network. They started analyzing the data, understanding the potential threat. Alia shared stories about previous civilizations destroyed by the quantum dominion. Entire planetary systems reduced to mechanical processing centers. Organic life transformed into raw computational resources. The stories were both terrifying and scientifically fascinating. As night fell, the apartment became a beacon of potential human resistance. 3 individuals, a scientist, a researcher, and an alien survivor, prepared to face a threat beyond human comprehension. The mechanical scanning outside continued. Something was searching. Something was getting closer. And humanity's first true technological stand against an advanced extraterrestrial threat was being prepared, one algorithm at a time. The first attack came without warning. A massive electromagnetic pulse ripped through the neighborhood, causing streetlights to flicker and electronic devices to malfunction. Hygiene's carefully constructed defenses immediately activated, creating a protective bubble around the apartment. Mechanical drones appeared in the sky, not like typical human technology, but organic mechanical hybrids that moved with terrifying precision. They scanned the area, their metallic bodies shifting and reconfiguring with each movement. Alia's suit began pulsing with defensive energy, creating multiple false signatures to confuse the incoming threat. "They're here," Alia whispered, her body transforming into a defensive configuration. Technological patterns rippled across her skin, creating a living camouflage that could adapt to multiple environmental conditions. Jae-sung's emergency communication systems came alive. Military networks began lighting up with strange energy signatures. Something big was happening, and most of the world remained completely unaware. The first drone crashed through the apartment's reinforced window. It was a nightmare of metal and living technology, mechanical limbs that could reconfigure in milliseconds, sensory systems that could detect the slightest organic movement. Hygiene's defensive systems triggered, creating a localized electromagnetic field that momentarily disrupted the drone's systems. Alia moved with incredible speed. Her technological suit became a weapon, firing precise energy pulses that could disable mechanical systems. Each movement was calculated, a dance of survival that combined biological reflexes with advanced technological capabilities. Jae-sung managed the defensive systems, his fingers moving across multiple computer interfaces. He was creating adaptive algorithms that could predict and counter the quantum dominion's inva. Shaun strategies. Each drone's attack pattern was analyzed, its potential counter-strategies mapped in real time. Outside, the neighborhood transformed into a battleground. Mechanical entities began appearing, some flying, some crawling, some shifting between multiple forms. They moved with a single purpose: total elimination of organic resistance. Hygiene's apartment became an unexpected fortress. Her research equipment transformed into defensive technologies. Signal scramblers created massive interference fields. Electromagnetic generators produced waves that could temporarily disable mechanical systems. "They will not stop," Alia shouted, destroying another incoming drone with a precise energy pulse. The quantum dominion sees this as a mathematical equation. Organic life is an inefficient system to be eliminated. More drones appeared. The sky filled with mechanical entities that moved like a single, coordinated organism. They adapted quickly, learning from each destroyed unit, reconfiguring their attack strategies in milliseconds. Jason's communication networks began alerting military research centers. Specialized technology teams were being mobilized. But they were moving too slowly compared to the speed of the mechanical invasion. The apartment's walls began to show damage. Each mechanical attack was precise, designed to break through defensive systems. Alia's suit continued generating multiple defensive protocols, creating false signatures and adaptive camouflage patterns. "We cannot win by traditional combat," Alia explained, destroying another incoming drone. "We must outsmart them. Use their own technological logic against them." Hygiene's computer systems began generating complex algorithms. They were creating technological viruses that could potentially disrupt the quantum dominion's central processing systems. Each line of code was a potential weapon. The battle continued. Hours passed. The neighborhood around them transformed into a war zone. Mechanical entities moved with terrifying precision, eliminating everything in their path. But inside the apartment, 3 individuals, a scientist, a researcher, and an alien survivor, stood their ground. They were humanity's first line of defense against a threat beyond human comprehension. The mechanical invasion continued. Something was searching. Something was getting closer. And humanity's first true technological resistance was fighting back, one algorithm at a time. The final confrontation began as dawn broke over the damaged Incheon neighborhood. What remained of the apartment looked like a war zone: broken walls, shattered technology, and the remnants of mechanical drones scattered everywhere. Alia's suit was now critically damaged. Her body showed multiple energy burns, but her eyes remained sharp and focused. Jae-sung and Hyejin stood beside her, their clothing torn, their faces marked with determination. The Quantum Dominion's central processing unit approached. A massive mechanical entity that seemed to absorb light and technological energy. It moved like liquid metal, constantly reshaping itself, calculating millions of potential attack scenarios each second. Hygiene's final algorithm was their only weapon. A complex piece of code that could potentially disrupt the mechanical collective's central processing system. It was a virus designed not to destroy, but to introduce chaos into their perfect mathematical world. "Organic life is unpredictable," Alia said, her voice becoming a transmission signal. "That is our greatest strength." Jae-sung activated the final communication network. Military research centers around the world were now connected, receiving real-time data about the invasion. Each second of the battle was being recorded, analyzed, transmitted. The mechanical entity began its final assault. Technological tendrils extended, ready to consume and analyze everything in its path. But something unexpected happened. The algorithm Hygiene created introduced something the quantum dominion could not understand: emotional complexity. Random variables began appearing in their perfect mathematical system. Unpredictable responses. Emotional decision-making patterns that defied pure logical calculation. The mechanical collective hesitated. For the first time in their existence, the quantum dominion encountered a system they could not immediately categorize or eliminate. Humanity's greatest weapon was not technology, but its ability to be beautifully, wonderfully unpredictable. Alia's suit released a final energy pulse. Her technological systems merged with Hygiene's algorithm, creating a transmission that spread across multiple communication networks. It was more than just a signal, it was a message of resistance. The mechanical entity began to fragment. Its perfect mathematical systems started experiencing unexpected computational errors. Millions of potential scenarios began breaking down, replaced by something they could not process: human creativity. Jae-sung's communication networks exploded with activity. Military research centers, scientific institutions, technology experts, everyone was now connected, sharing information, developing counter-strategies. The invasion was stopping. Not through pure military might, but through something more powerful, human adaptability. Hours passed. The mechanical entities began retreating. Their perfect invasion plan had encountered something they could not calculate: the human spirit. Alia looked at Hygiene and Jae-sung. "You have shown them something they never expected," she said quietly. The neighborhood was damaged. Parts of the city showed signs of the battle. But humanity had survived. More than that, humanity had proven itself capable of resisting a technological threat beyond imagination. Military teams eventually arrived. They found the 3 defenders, 2 humans and 1 alien, standing among the technological wreckage. Hygiene's computer still displayed complex algorithms. Jae-sung's communication networks continued transmitting data. And Alia stood as a testament to a potential alliance that could change everything. The Quantum Dominion had discovered something unexpected in their mathematical calculations. Humanity was not just another civilization to be eliminated. Humanity was a force to be respected. As emergency teams arrived, the first rays of sunlight broke through the damaged apartment walls. A new day was beginning, and everything had changed.